Hello, and welcome once again to our Red Dragon review. I'm Akai Kami Ryu, and I present to you my review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a game which is part of a game series, like Final Fantasies, etc., that I think was a bit underrated. Alright, I'll just start. Monster Rancher 4 for the PS2. Now for those of you who have heard of Monster Rancher, possibly because of the Fox Kids show several years ago, if you're an old fart like me, or have played the earlier incarnations on the PlayStation, or even the previous version on the PlayStation 2, Monster Rancher 3. So you'll be at least familiar with the series. For those who aren't, I'll give you a brief overview. You are what's called a breeder in this game. And a breeder raises monsters. And you train them, become stronger, facing competitions, and basically become the champ. That's pretty much the story in a nutshell. There is an actual plot story to this, to Monster Rancher 4, more so than the previous incarnation that I played, Monster Rancher 3. So that can be a drive to change up the pace and monotony of what you do in the game. Anyone who's played monotonous games or games that can become pretty repetitive, like The Sims, won't have any trouble getting into the flow of this. I will admit, you have to raise monsters various ways with strength, speed, etc., boost their stats. You have to take them on adventures to increase their experience so they will learn new moves to help out in the battles. But it's all good. Now, for the real key thing about this, how you get your monsters. This is what makes this series really unique. You unlock your monsters with CDs and DVDs. I'm not kidding. You basically, when you decide to unlock a monster, you put in your favorite movie or song CD, and a monster is unlocked, and you can raise it. It's really cool because you're not really sure what will come out of whatever disc you have. It's not completely random, meaning putting in the same disc, you will get a different monster every time. There are a couple exceptions to that rule, but the majority of the time is pretty consistent. Once you know what disc unlocks what monster, that's pretty much what it's going to be. But it is extremely cool, and it's really interesting to try to figure out what disc will unlock what monster. And then later in the game, you're able to freeze your monsters and then combine them to create new monsters, which again is pretty cool. From what I can tell, there's over 300 different species that you can raise, which is freaking awesome. Several can only be unlocked through discs and CDs. Others you can possibly unlock if you're able to find stones during your exploration, which will then put the pages in your book, and then you can unlock later from your book. So you don't always need to have the disc. So when it gets to the fighting in the championships, the tournaments are done various ways, depending on where they are. You have team, where it's 2-on-2, solos, which is the majority of them, or your whole ranch, which can consist up to 5 monsters at the same time. And even those have different tournament ways of being fought. So it's always interesting to check this out. One thing that I honestly wish is that someone would release a new Monster Rancher for the new gens, because this series has pretty much died. And unfortunately, it was this. I think it was the sequel to Monster Rancher 4 called Monster Rancher Evo that did it. In Monster Rancher Evo, they completely changed playability, training, everything. They completely changed it. They had updated graphics and added new monsters, which was good, but they just ruined it. Ways to make money and everything. They just destroyed it, unfortunately. And I think that's what killed the series. I would if someone came out, was able to re-release Monster Rancher, at least base it off of Monster Rancher 4 style of gameplay alone, would be awesome. And because think about it, you put in a Blu-ray, because with with the PlayStation's 3s and 4s being Blu-ray based, you have Blu-ray and DVDs as well as CDs to unlock monsters. So the possibilities are endless as to what to unlock and how to unlock it. I honestly wish that they would release a new one, so it would be a lot of fun to play. I highly recommend, if you pick this up, to play it. I wouldn't really recommend Monster Rancher 3 too much due to the fact of the playability was very limited, and training also was more or less hit and miss, more so than consistency, which Monster Rancher 4 had. Monster Rancher 4, I think, was the pinnacle of the Monster Rancher series. But that's my opinion. I've only played 3 of the games. Monster Rancher 3, which introduced me, Monster Rancher 4, which I loved, and then Monster Rancher Evo, which almost destroyed my whole love of the series, unfortunately. But then again, this is only my own personal opinion regarding this. If you don't agree with me, fine. Let me know what you think otherwise. Or if this has interested you, try to find a copy of those games and play them yourself and make your own opinion. That's what the whole point of these series are. All right? I hope I got someone interested in a new game, and I will see you next time here on the Red Dragon Review. Have a good night.